Welcome to LFFL Prime Time, the fastest 5 minutes in all of the universe. I'm going to get you caught up with what to watch for tonight because there's actually a bunch of stuff on the line this evening. And let's start with the biggest story in the LFFL this week, and that is Todd Meyer. Yes, the 15 win streak is in serious jeopardy tonight. Todd put up 154 on the week. Solid score, but look at Andy coming in hot. 146 with one of the best players in football still to go. Todd looks like a sitting duck right now. Now, look, injuries can happen. Maybe Cooper Kupp gets locked up for the first time in a year and a half, but look at this streak may be coming to an end. As Michael Scott would say, nope, don't like that if you're Todd. Bill looking pretty solid against Miles, who still has the Rams defense, but would need almost 30 points out of them. And then Matt, same thing, looking pretty solid against Eric, but Eric does have Jeffrey Wilson, Deebo Samuel, and Tyler Higbee still to go. Your winners already, myself and Greg, have secured wins for the week. LFFL2, what to watch for? Only one game left to be decided. That is the Merrills with 80 points against my 48. Hey, I still have George Kittle. You're telling me there's a chance, right? 32 points. Look, 6 touchdowns. I'm right there. Right there. Your previous winners this week, Miles, Sean, Eric, and Phil. Bill has lost this week, meaning we have no more undefeated teams. And with that loss, Bill, Eric, Miles, and the Merrills will all be tied in a massive 3-1 with 3-1 records at the top of this league. What to watch for in the LFFL? 3. We have a bunch of games still to be decided. I don't know that any of them are actually going to flip-flop who wins the games, but they are still in doubt to a certain extent. Greg has a 19-point lead on Sean, who has Cam Akers. Bill has Allen Robinson and 107 points versus Miles with 68 points and Daryl Henderson Cooper Kupp. Matt Brennan has Jeffrey Wilson and 117 points. I've got 91 points with George Kittle and the Niners defense. And finally, Nate has 92 and Eric has 56 with Deebo and the Rams. As I say, I don't know that any of those are really likely to change hands, but you never know. Your winners already, Matt, Merrill, and Phil. Matt staying undefeated in this league, moves to 4-0, one of just 3 undefeated teams left in all of the LFFL after 4 weeks. LFFL 4, your Thursday night slate, and Nate takes it down by 0.2 points over Todd. These were the top 2 teams in the standings. They remain the top 2 teams in the standings. Nate gets 2 added to his total for 26. Todd gets a point to his total for 25. And he sits in third, a solid 4th place, showing these have clearly been the top 3 teams so far in our daily contest. What to watch for in the LFFL 5 still to be decided. Eric with Cooper Kupp, 177 points. Sean, 152 with Brandon Ayuk and Nick Bosa. Todd, Matthew Stafford, 152. Nate, 132 with Daryl Henderson and Bobby Wagner. Miles, 209. Andy, 158 with Allen Robinson and Deebo Samuel. Again, I don't know that any of those are likely to change hands. I think we will stick with the favorite being the team ahead, but they're close enough to maybe give a team a sweat if something good happens in the first half. Your winners, the Kaufman brothers, have already won. Eric, looking like he is going to be in solo first if he can pull out the win. And as I say, if he would be one of 3 undefeated teams left if he can get that win. LFFL 7 looks like Greg is heading to the chopping block, however. Still has 2 players to play. Lloyd Christmasing you as well, Greg, on this one. Look, the reality is Todd's the lowest scoring finish team at 152. Greg would need Jimmy G to score more than 22 to even count. So we would need Jimmy G to have like 4 touchdowns to Juwan Jennings to even start thinking about this. Not likely. Greg is likely joining myself, Eric, and Sean on the wrong side of FFL 7. And I did want to look at the LFFL 9 real quick. What this total points you have right now in parentheses is the number of players you have tonight. I started with Todd and Greg at 11 and 12 because they both are finished. Those are their scores for the qualifying rounds. However, if you look over here and the 4 teams out, they just don't have a lot of players left. Those players don't necessarily count for point either. What those scores mean is Andy has 1 player left, but that 1 player left has got to score more than his lowest scoring player on his team, which will vary from team to team. I do think the Phil team is potentially in play down here. Phil 2 is potentially in play to get jumped by one of the Andy teams or Matt Brennan or maybe Todd if some ridiculous thing happens. Might be able to get up to Bill, but I think this Phil, Greg, Todd group is safe, but I wanted to put them in there just so you know who the lowest scoring finished teams are. So I don't know, again, like I've said at every side, I don't know there's a lot of changes here. I don't know it's likely that we have too much go on. But there's a reason they play the games, right? So we'll see what happens tonight. Does Andy get both teams kicked out in one fell swoop? So we will see. Good luck tonight, everybody. Make sure you hop in the Monday night contest. It looks like there's a bunch in there already. The link is in the email. So we will talk to you really soon with an update on how the week shook out. Have a good evening.